Hello, Guild Wars. Welcome back to Weekend Weapon of Choice GvG edition. This is, as mentioned before, GvG only. Nothing but the good stuff, no tombs, HJ, whatever the kids call it, random arenas or whatnot. We just talking about GvG here. Today's episode was planned to be about the MAT, and it's still going to be about the MAT, don't worry. But the general idea was that we go through the finals with someone who played in it, but frankly, the finals are an absolute shit show. I hope I'm not offending anyone, but it wasn't even 4 fucking minutes. Man, that was extremely disappointing. And looking through the MAT, it's kind of interesting that Spiritway, which used to be so good and dominant, lost all playoffs games. I think the only time Spiritway actually won a match was in the Swiss rounds or something. That's quite shocking, considering how good it can be. And all playoff games that featured Spiritway went to like 28. Super exciting shit, right? I bet Ali can tell the story about it. It's honestly disappointing to a certain degree, and yeah, let's say we not looking into the finance. Today's guest, Fate and Luv, will go through their perspective from their matches. I hope we will not talk too much about the finals because it's not exciting. I bet the quarterfinals and the semis are far more exciting to talk um about the bots. I'm gonna upload this one as the one before in YouTube. I'll link the channel later. For anyone willing to engage later with Loof or Fade, I'm gonna send in the Discord link. Join up. I've got a channel there. You can post any dumb question as long as it's actually GvG related. It's gonna come up on stream. Whatever it may be. I don't care if you ask for their armor parts, whatnot, what color they have, as long as it somehow involves GvG and it's a fair question and it's gonna come up on air. About the MIT in general, I'm quite surprised Fist lost that early and did not go 5-0 in Swiss rounds. I mean, I was hoping to get someone else on the stream, not gonna lie, but I did not expect it to come out this way. Anyways, let me check in with Loof and Fade and then we quickly continue. Yo, guys, are you there? Fade, Loof? I can't hear you. Yeah, I'm not hearing you, Loof. Let me change something. Wait. I love this shit. Number one, number two. Let's try it again. Can you say something, Loof? Yeah, I'm not hearing you. Fate, you there? You can hear me. That's good. Wait. Let me check. Okay, new try. Loof, say something.
Hello, hello.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, number one, and I suppose Fate is FK.
Yeah, he should be coming back any
Yeah,
second.
that's fine. First of all, congratulations on your win.
Thanks.
Um, how about we start with you, and then when Fate comes back, we'll get to him. What is the most known in-game name of you nowadays? Which name do people recognize?
Yeah, I just go by love, and I guess well, now that you have one word names, easy to recognize because I just go by love. So
All
yeah,
right, all right.
and yeah, I think my original monk name was Love, 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 which is a bit weird. I was young when I made that name, but yeah.
What is your guild history? When did you start GvG? When did you get into top GvG?
Um, I started later than most people. I started, well, the game itself, I started like 2007 or something, but I've played PvE for a long time. And I got into GvG around like 2012 or something. And the first time that I made it into like good guilds and reached finals and whatnot must have been around 2014 with Nick at the time. So I guess Nick scouted me, and we played a bunch together in many guilds. I played a lot with Americans. And yes, I think my first gold must have been 2014, something like that.
All right, all right.
And then I played a bunch with the Finns, Sync and
Yeah, I remember that. I
Hemo.
remember it.
Yeah.
What roles did you start off, and is it still the role you most play or play the most?
No, no, no. I started playing Monk, Flagger in particular. Well, it was Rit at the time, and then Monk. And then I played a bunch of different roles. I guess like a bit like Yoko said last week. I'm like a more of a jack of all trades, let's say. But I've played a lot of Monk, and nowadays, well, in XXX, I'm playing Frontline, which is the polar opposite, I guess. But I've played a bunch of Ellie and midline also during my let's say career. So yeah, I've played a bit of everything.
All right. Since last week I asked Bounty and Yoko to give us a bar that they played the all eight skills that they're most familiar with. Um, can you pick a bar from any class you played, preferably one of them you're really familiar with, you played perhaps even last MAT, that you could
Yeah.
name and tell people and perhaps even give a little tip or trick for it?
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll pick something that's relevant to today's meta. So I'll try to pick something I've played in this MAT. I don't want to pick Lissa or like this Flux Derv because that's what they picked last week, I think. So I'll
Yeah.
just pick this AOB bar, like the Flux Dervish, I guess, which is
The
like
the
the
pious signet shit.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
all right.
Um, yeah, so that bar, I mean, as Dervish, you're kind of um, you remain like a frontliner, so your job is to do as much damage as possible. So that should be one of your main focuses. But then, as you said, you have this Cryptsig stuff, which is like a novelty. Um, well, to me, it was at least when I came back like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really a key skill that you need to learn how to use without overusing it. My tip would be not to just spam Cryptsig at the expense of doing damage. Most of the time, you should find your windows to use Cryptsig, but keep trying to output as much damage as you can. And the other little micro tip that I might give for this bar or for any Dervish bar in general is people usually they use their rending aura or whatever the other enchantment that gives disease. Mystic Corruption. People usually do like rending aura into Deep Wound, and then they just don't have any enchantment left on them. And so in this particular flux, you would run Mystic Sweep, which did more damage when you were enchanted. So the little micro tip was to just use rending aura way before to have it up on you. And then you would do Wearying Strike into another rending aura. So you would be enchanted for your Mystic Sweep, and you would get the extra compression damage. Small things like that.
Yeah, makes
Um,
sense.
but
Um,
yeah, otherwise it's pretty simple bar.
yeah, it's Dervish, right? It's not
It's dervish,
not
yes, but
extreme. Compared to, let's say, warrior. Like warrior, especially when you're on those shock X wars or something, it's a lot more complicated to when to use it, how often to use it, because you don't want to overexhaust yourself. And dervish is a lot
mm,
simpler that way, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I feel like maybe people underestimate this dervish. Maybe like there are things that you can do in terms of controlling the game, not just like about micro stuff, but like you dictate a lot of the game as the dervish with you how who you're targeting when you're pushing, etc. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's a different like it's less micro intensive, but it's more like you have to be more aware of what's going on, I would say.
All right. Since you said your role changed from red to this month, frontliner, for example, what is your role in XXX? Are you like a strat caller? Are you just more of a quiet person? Do the other people do more of the talking? Is there anything
Um,
specific? Like, do you have a specific role in that guild aside from being a frontliner?
well, I wouldn't say I'm the quietest one. I'm the quietest one for sure. I think I do give a lot of input during the games. I don't think we really have one dedicated shot caller. Well, this month at least, I think we had a bunch of people chiming in. But I guess Teddy was doing a lot of the strats during some of those games, just for like the fifth damage person is usually the one that has more thinking time and can have like a more general view of what's going on. So, and it's also it fits his style. So he was doing a lot of that, and I guess we had a bunch of people also just like bounce off of each other's ideas. But usually, my role is to try to coordinate the damage, and when there's some kind of split situation, try to coordinate what's going on at main team, I would say.
All right. Another question, which I think some people are curious about. Did you touch your UI? Do you play mouse or like click, or do you use the keyboard? Have you changed anything on your keyboard for skills and shit?
Click all 8 skills.
Yeah.
Really?
No,
Wait, you don't do that?
me?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I do click to move only. I never use any WASD or anything. And then I've from monking, I've developed using my keyboard for party window, so party members. And so that's a bit weird of a setup that I have where I just target people with my left thumb. So yeah.
That's kind of interesting. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
before we get to Fade, how about we ask the interesting questions? Let's
yeah.
start with your favorite class.
My favorite class, hmm, favorite class to play has to be either warrior or mesmer.
All right. On which class
Uh,
do you play the least,
the class that I play the least,
or like to play the least?
oh, that I like to play the least. I mean, it's funny, but it's probably dervish, you know.
Yeah,
But that's
that's
what I
kind of
play. I
fair.
took one for the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. What's your best class at?
Currently, it has to be dervish just from like the practice that I've got in those last 3 months. Generally speaking, though, it has to be monk.
All right, and what's your worst class?
My worst class. Hmm, uh, it's a tough one. I mean, probably heel monk.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's the one
Uh,
I've played the least, and Heal Monk, in my opinion, has become a lot harder in recent times. There's so much multitasking, and you're the fucking victim of every mesmer.
No, that's so true.
So it's a hard fucking role now,
Yeah.
and I haven't played it much.
All right. Now we get in the really fun shit. Let's start with guild, not player. Who do you think is underrated as a guild? I know, and Bondi mentioned it last week. Guilds change nowadays rather quickly compared to the past. So if you're referring to a guild, we mean the major group that stays together. Like for example, if you say lag, we know lag is gonna have like two people changing every now and then, but lag as the general concept because the main group stay together. So who do you think is underrated?
Haven't prepared for this. I knew it was gonna come, but
And you have to
underrated.
say crew again. Crew has to be like on that
Yeah,
list.
yeah, for sure.
The
For
way that
sure.
they kind of like formed out of nowhere and like have improved so much.
Yeah,
I think they could be said. Team as well, kind of coming back like from so long ago. I think they could be classed as
yeah,
underrated as well.
yeah. I agree. Crew and team is probably the ones that were mentioned already. So I would have to add honorable mention to maybe MT, which also started. I think they started playing around again, like when we started in SKT or something. But I think they have good potential, and they might be, even though they made finals and stuff. They might be still not considered in the top guilds by some people, and I think they do have some potential.
Yeah, they have a lot of experienced Frenchies, right? Like a lot of them really won several times.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um,
All
I
right.
think also, as a fellow Frenchman, I can say that some metas are not for us. Ones where there are too many Ellie's or too many splitting, it's usually not good. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I get you. So, who do you think is overrated as a guild?
Oh boy.
um,
And this
it's
time
hard.
you can't weasel out by saying whatever Bounty and Yoko said, because Willies get guild reformed and they did make top 16 this time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, overrated.
Overrated guild. Wow.
It's hard to say because there
Like,
isn't like an official like who rates people, you know?
this is just your opinion. Like this is not objectively true to whatever you say. It's just your feeling. Who do you think gets more credit than they deserve? Who's not, generally speaking, bad, but who's hyped up to a standard they do not fulfill in your eyes?
Yeah.
I
Um,
genuinely don't know who to say here.
I think okay.
I'm gonna say all of the American guilds are overrated. I think
Oh,
Americans are
Bro just went hard.
they're
Okay.
just so far behind.
this is kind of
OG just
hilarious because last time
OG
we
just one tricked Spirit Way, kind of worked for them a little bit, but
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna
apart
say.
from that, who else is there? Apart from OG, who else in America is like
I mean, I have to say it because like well they picked up their game, but I think lag this MAT and in general should be at a better level than they are right now.
see, this was my take as well. If I looked at Lax history, I look at all those big names, people who won so many
Right,
times and played for
right.
so long, and they are always underperforming. I'm not trying to bash on them here, right? But when I look at their MAT results the last few months and shit, they always come up short to what they can actually achieve, which is really disappointing.
Well, yeah,
Um,
since your question is like overrated, like I have this memory of lag like 10, 15 years ago being probably the best guild out there. Like
Yeah, I
that.
remember this time as well, and before the show, because Lack actually went to the finals, and it's part of the show. I researched their history and looking at how good they were and who played back then, it kind of feels like it's or they were at this point because a lot of good people left, and yet again, most of the core is still playing, and they always come up short. It's really just disappointing, especially when you look back at how many golds they won as a guild.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, but it's also you have to adapt. I can speak on that because I came back like 4 or 5 months ago, and it took me a while to adapt to this new I would say meta and like how strong mesmers are now and the Singus thing and maybe as a guild if you don't get tons of practice and you don't actually do like it's tons of like reviewing and blah 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 like even if you have good players from back in the days you can still like underperform a lot,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think that's what might be happening here.
yeah. Let's quickly wrap up with individual players, and then we get into the Fate introduction. So, Luv, who do you think is an underrated play? Who have you seen play, and you're like, "Whoa, I don't know who that fucking person is, but he's actually quite decent."
Yeah. Well, I won't be original, but I will have to repeat about Fennec, since he started the game very recently, and I think he's up for the best flagger out there for sure. So I would say Fennec. And outside of that, mm, let me think.
I mean, while you think, I would actually have to agree on Fennec, not only because I've been observing him and had the show last week, but gotta say it here, I quickly sneaked into your Discord the other day while you
Yeah, I
guys were
remember that.
analyzing shit, and he was there. He took the time to actually look
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
situation, talk over it, see what could have been done better. That's an attitude that is kind of lacking for a lot of people, and which I think is really, really good because I'm pretty sure that helped him get to the point where he is now.
Oh yeah, my man Fennec is a try hard for sure.
Yeah, I
But
don't
that's
know
maybe
how
a
much
sneak
I agree
background.
with Fennec. I don't know. Maybe he could go in the overrated column. Not so sure, but
Who?
I have to give the shout out to Treese. Treese is
Yeah.
it's kind of the same as how Yoko and Bounty saw it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
so
think of
yeah,
someone.
both started at around the same time, and both are playing in probably the best two guilds right now. Yeah, props to both of them.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So, do you have an overrated person, Luv?
Overrated. Mm, it's rough, man. I'm not sure. Like,
How about we give you time while Fate
yeah,
gets the time to introduce himself? So,
sure. Let me
Fate,
think.
what is the in-game name most people will recognize you under?
Fate is healing you, probably. My terrible monk performances.
I wouldn't say terrible, but all right then. What's your GvG history? Like, when did you start? When did you roughly get into top GvG?
I think it was either 2010 or 11, and I was playing with some Americans, unironically, after I just flamed them. But that was actually Pyken who got me in that guild. Played with them for some months. Got destroyed by, I think it was over 9,000 three times in a row.
Oh,
And then I kind of took a bit of a break. After that, I think I kind of came back around 14, 15, I think. And that's when my monking career kind of ended. I was playing 7 monk then, and went for warrior.
yeah, I remember playing Heroics. I'm not quite sure. Was it MILF or something? when I played
Well,
with
that
you,
was
and we actually won a gold chain with you on Warrior. So yeah, I remember you playing Warrior to a time.
yeah, that was 2017. I think my first gold was 15 with IQ, one of Willie's guilds. Game was pretty dead then, not gonna lie, but yeah, kind of bounced around from monk to front, and that's kind of where my roles were. I mean, I've played Mesmer, but I'm just not very good at it. Yeah, so yeah, I feel more comfortable on warrior and monk.
So we already went through roles. You also named the class you probably bad as, sort of the mesmer. I would assume warrior monk, yeah, your best classes. Then we skip that part. And what is your favorite class?
Yeah, I would have to say warrior is probably my favorite. It's where I have the most fun. I feel like I have the most impact on that role as well.
All right, and what class do you like the least?
Probably something like Necro. I don't think I've played a single game of Necro.
Necro. That's a
Yeah.
new one. Haven't heard it yet on the show.
Do you like Dervish Fate?
It's not my favorite for sure, but
Yeah.
I don't not enjoy it. Put it that way.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty common for people to hate like Dervish and Necro, I think.
Yeah, because most of the time it's not the class in itself, but the builds that can be played nowadays. And honestly, if someone would ask me, I wouldn't like the Necro either. It's just most of the time Bloodneck, if at all, and that's
Yeah.
not very exciting.
There's like one playable Necro build.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah.
So, what is your best class, Fade? Would you say warrior or the monk?
Warrior.
Warrior. And what is your worst? Is it really the mesmer, or would you say it is the worst class that you actually play in GvG, but you were worse at other
Honestly,
classes?
I feel like I'm terrible on Ellie. I think Ellie's probably one of my worst classes.
All right. That it's kind of unexpected because a lot of people think Ellie is rather easy to play.
Yeah, which is so incorrect.
Yeah, I would agree. But then again, opinions differ. What is your role in the guild? Are you a shot caller? Do you handle the build making, or do you just take part in decisions like everyone else?
I think, like Love said, we kind of all contribute. I think my role is I'm like the punching bag. Anything ever goes wrong, it's Fate's fault, and I'm completely fine with it. It relieves the stress of everyone. This is what a good leader does, you know.
Yeah. How about you? Did you touch your UI? Did you change skills, keys for skills or party members or whatnot?
I bounced between a few hotkeys when I was monking, but kind of reverted all of that back for playing warrior.
All right, and how do you move? Do you click? Do you use WASD?
A bit of in between, like I can WASD like as like lazy gameplay, or I'll click when it's more intensive, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. All right, so we went through overrated, underrated, and shit basically together. Um, can you name an overrated player before Luv gets his shot?
Do we want content here?
Yeah, of course we won.
I know Bounty created the content last time.
I think Yoko was far worse, but Bounty, yeah.
See, unironically, I agree with Yoko's one from last week. I think it was actually a good one.
Willie?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But I'm not going to go with the same person. Let's create content. Let's look at your list of people who's here. Okay. I don't know if this guy can go overrated. I think you'd struggle to find people who rate him.
But
Um, but I would say let's go with Holy.
holy,
Um, I see the thing is with overrated, I think a lot of the players right now are in probably the correct guilds, let's say it like that, for skill levels. Maybe Holy we could dump him down to like Edge or Dumb, maybe potentially.
oh,
Um, then we might. No, I feel bad. I'm just doing content and memeing. I mean, Holy's a bit of a meme in the community, so I thought good
all right,
timing.
all
But
right.
honestly, I agree with Willie being overrated.
Oh, oh, he got 2 picks now. Not looking good for the boy. Um, did you mention a overrated guild, or was it just Luv? I think,
Overrated guild.
yeah, I think just
I
mentioned.
flamed Americom.
All right, yeah, you flamed the Americans. And generally speaking, not just one guild. Oh, that's good stuff. Luv, do you have someone who's overrated?
Yeah, I was thinking, but like it's hard. I think everyone kind of thinks everyone sucks nowadays too, so it's hard to find like someone who is valued by the community, but at the same time is not that good. So it's hard. Um, eh, no, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to say for underrated, I was thinking, I don't know if people consider him, people might already consider him good, but I want to say Jamie.
Jamie.
I think
All right.
Jamie is really good at Warrior, and he has like, he's got a good understanding of the game, and it felt nice to play with him, even though he's not in our guild anymore. But yeah, as far as overrated, it's difficult. Um,
You're not here to create content. I get it.
I mean, I would like to create content, but I just also don't want to throw someone under the bus if I don't really think he's overrated, you know. So yeah, I'll keep thinking about it, but
All right. Then how about
right now I don't see it.
how we get into the actual MAT talk. Let's just quickly go over the finals because I mentioned it in the pre-show introduction. My personal view of the finals is like it's an absolute shit show. Like it's a 4-minute final. The bit was like a joke, and you just sort of steamrolled them.
Yeah,
Um,
so what happens is probably they thought we were going to play Spirit Way 2, and they just dropped the Ranger for an additional warrior to try and counter. And
yeah,
that didn't work out. So yeah, I do agree that finals is probably not the
But
best
they
one.
tried to out gamble the gamble lords. Like, of course they were gonna lose.
Yeah.
yeah. I was actually planning on let's hop into the ops and talk about a game that lasts God knows how long and probably get some exciting plays. And I'm sitting at home yesterday and I'm like, yeah, fuck, you can't talk about this. There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
do
For finals,
do
yeah.
do you think any of your matches is actually worth watching? Like, is there one game you would say like this was a good match in the MAT?
I
I
think
mean,
more
really and
important.
truly, the FIS game, you have to class that as the real finals.
Yeah, I was
Um,
thinking about that.
the level of play, unless you're kind of experienced in the game, you won't see it or notice it. But I think it was a great game from our side. Um, but yeah, you can watch that game. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I was surprised looking back at how most Spirit Way matchups go usually. Most teams do not survive that long. Usually take God knows how many deaths. Um and you just didn't die. You just lived through that shit. Um I think everyone who's not understanding how tough this is would just look at the game and be like, yeah, so what's the big deal? But looking at it is just nuts. I mean, I was on your Discord hearing the stuff you were talking about, the games you were analyzing. and I had the stats open on Tolcano, and comparing this to the game you played against Fist, like the Guardian uptime and shit, like tripled. Like there's a huge improvement when it comes to your monking, um, or you generally speaking your monks, and this is something I think lower people miss. Um, what do
Can
you?
you stop giving away our secrets?
I'm just giving stats. I mean, everyone can look it up on Takana now. I'm not talking about stuff specifically that went into whatever you analyzed there. I'm just saying, if you look at the stats and from one game to another, and you do not see an improvement, it's a big downfall. And I'm pretty sure newer people or people who are not as experienced will not pay attention to the detail because that's what keeps you guys alive. I think I saw on what was it, QQ, Lenny memeing Bounty because he speared a lot.
Yeah.
um but
Well, really,
yeah,
what else could he have done in that game?
yeah, see that was my take. Like what's he gonna do? You guys fall back, you go back to the NPCs, you punish the monk the moment you can, and then push them again, fall back, push, fall back. You just try to survive, and that really smartly. Um,
I think it's a team effort also. Like, of course, our monking I think has definitely improved against that build in particular because it takes a lot of coordination from your backline with like prod D usage and AOS usage and stuff like that. But it's also a team effort of not taking free damage and playing it super disciplined, which I think is what we managed to do that game. And yeah, but Spirit Way is for sure still very dangerous.
yeah. Um, when talking about this, why did you choose the double mesmer triple melee for Imperial? I mean, there are so many builds you guys could have played. Is there a particular reason why you wanted this, or was it just like we don't know what we can expect, and this is the most comfortable we are on?
Um, yeah, I feel like Trip Melee is probably the build that covers the most ground in this meta. So it's kind of the build where no matter what they throw at you, you're always going to have a chance because it's got the most tools to deal with as many situations as possible. Of course, we had considered the fact that they might play Spirit Way, um, and we thought that well, we just had to go along with it, and there was many other options for them. They could have also played Trip Melee as well, and we were ready to play a mirror match. It's just like the most versatile build that we could have played on this map. And we felt confident with our double mesmer, felt that it has improved a lot in the past month, 2 months. So yeah, that was our reasoning pretty much.
I think we took into account like a lot of people expected Spirit Way from us as well. As you can see, if you look back on some of the games of who we faced, they had soothing in the quarters, they had soothing in the finals. The semis, they had double water stability. Like they really thought that that's all we were going to play. So yeah, kind of, maybe a bit of mind games if you want to say it like that.
Yeah. Um, looking at finals and semifinals, you swapped out the Emo Ison. Is there a specific reason you really wanted to go for the Dervish, or was it just like the Emo Ison is easily prevented if they have the right skill for it? Like technically in the semifinals, Willie's got 25 wins, no way. Was actually prepared with PNH. Like I'm really surprised you guys won this, and they really started getting pressure at some point and spiraled down.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good spec on them, honestly. They had PNH to spec our MY, and I guess the Words of Stab for the Spirit Way. So I guess their reasoning was to try to cover as much ground as possible. Uh, and yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, like PNH was kind of annoying to deal with. But generally speaking, I think the messengers were just so broken in May that uh, playing Singust that relies on the Gust Ellies um, is was kind of, you know, a gamble by them too. And we were able to, you know, we almost, like, I mean, it was risky at some points. I think we could have taken some deaths and maybe spiral down. But good monking again here, and we were able to pull through. And then, like, once the LEs are exhausted and you've fought for like 1-2 minutes and you haven't died, then it becomes really really difficult for them. And then we just took over the fight.
Yeah. And the first part of the question, was there a specific reason you went with the Dervish um in the finance and against Fist compared to the MOI Sin?
Uh,
Because I know Teddy loves that goddamn Sin.
he
Yeah,
does,
he does.
but
Well, honestly, we regret not taking we wanted to take the Dervish in semis too, but kind of overcalled it. Um, I don't know if there was a specific reason other than just the map choices.
yeah, we like the MOI on this map,
All right. Because
but
I'm pretty sure, sorry to cut you off there, but I'm pretty sure if you would have taken the MOI Sin against Fist, the game would have went differently.
yeah, for
Oh yeah, of
sure.
course, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that was a good choice at that moment.
Well, you know, I think to give a tiny bit of content, we felt like even if we ran MOI and we were facing some kind of counter by NOA, we felt like we could still power through it, just from individual skill. And against Fist, it's you have less room for this kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that went into our decision too.
All right, makes sense. We have a question in chat. Since you just mentioned Fist, the question is about which map would you have wished to face Fist on?
Warriors.
Uh,
We wanted them in finals.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you wanted a
I
big
think our
finals against
preferred.
them?
Well, it's also the one that you expect them to face them on the most, at least when we
Well,
were.
it's what we prepared for. We kind of
Yeah,
expected it would be us 1 and 2. So naturally, you would kind of meet them in finals.
Yeah,
So yeah, Warriors was kind of where we were kind of looking forward to the game, or
yeah,
what we were expecting.
yeah. Shout out to OG, by the way, for winning
Ruining
against
that
Fist.
plan, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But
in that case, how did you feel after beating Fist? Did you feel like, all right, we most likely got the MAT done. We most likely got a win because we have the hardest opponent beaten, or were you in your mindset like, all right, it's technically still open?
yeah, for me personally, I didn't feel like it was over yet, because like anything can happen in one game, right? And like goes to show, even in semis, like it wasn't a free game at all. I mean, finals was a free game, but you know anything can happen. So you still feel, and when you beat like the let's say the best guild, or the guild that you know you think is going to be the most challenge for you, like there's like a different kind of pressure that just comes now, and it's like we've done like the hardest, now we can't fuck up now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, for me it was still tense even until finals, but I don't know if others in the guild felt the same.
Another question. Last week I went through the patch notes um, rather quickly and asked Bounty and Yoko about the patch. Did the two patches in some way or another affect your build decision making in XXX, or we're like, yeah, but the current stuff is still too broken to really change something?
Well, looking at the builds that we ran, you already have some kind of answer for this, but I don't think the one thing we may have ran from the patch is the guided weapon on the MOI Sin, and I think we've seen a bunch of guided weapons in Spirit Way nowadays.
Yeah.
Outside of that, honestly, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
feel like.
Math loves Signet of Recall
Oh,
actually,
right.
which only
Yeah.
seems to be him playing it too. So
Yeah, yeah. That's true. He made up that new Mesmer thing. Um, so yeah,
Which is kind of
Signative Recall.
interesting. He drops entry removal for this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I like it in the sense that Drain Enchantment is a lot of the time is like a free rupt for the enemy's mesmers line backing your ass.
Yeah.
So it's somewhat difficult to get through. And I think the Signet of Recall allows you maybe to push height set sometimes and just like, come back with energy, not like get stuck on high set and never recover. Like, yeah. Well, it worked good for him apparently because he was doing some good work. So yeah.
About the flags, did you look forward to playing the May flags, or we're like, ah, shit, not really, but let's get it over with?
no, I definitely enjoy this flux. It's definitely better than some other ones. Um, I'm not really looking forward to next month, to be honest with you, but I know many people are like excited for that one.
I don't
Yeah,
even know what
Mayflux has to
next.
be my favorite too.
What is next month? Jack of all trades, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah. It's,
Yeah, this next month is more Ellie's, more casters. This month, I like this month because it's like it opens up for a bunch of new builds, and it's also less Singust. Like I don't think we've seen much Singust this month, which is a good breather. Um, and yeah, in general, I'll just like this flux. There was Paragons at one point that were playable, kind of. Nowadays, it's unfortunately it's a bit harder. But this double Paragon build is still fun. It's like it's good damage.
yeah, I'm actually surprised so few people run it, because back a few years ago when I played with Ego, Yoko, and stuff,
Yeah.
and Taki, there was so many teams in May playing Paragons, perhaps even double Paragons, um, which is barely seen nowadays. I mean, yes, people went more for the dervishes now, but the Paragons still do shitload of damage, right?
Yeah, for sure. I remember that time where double Paragon was basically the one build wonder in May, like 10 years ago or something. I just think like people now have a better understanding of the game and can exploit the Paragon's weaknesses a lot more, which is like splitting. Uh, Unfortunately, you have a class that does damage, but that's all it does. Like it doesn't offer anything else in terms of
Yeah.
flag running, skirmishing, lore damage, like mobility, whatever. It's just really a purely damage character, and it's just too difficult to fit in a build. Like you would just get absolutely exploited by builds like Trip Melee or something. So yeah, as much
See,
as I love
see,
Paragons, it's difficult.
Yeah, see, this is my point. If I look at the MAT stats and I see like a shitload of triple melee double mass, and I know double paragon works technically, I'm surprised that people do not play the double paragon for 28, because the paragons would technically out damage the dervishes when it comes to lord damage, and all you need to basically do is stay alive, perhaps even put one more defensive skill in there to give you the edge. And nobody seems to try this. Like everyone who rolls the paragons hopes for that quick win, and this is like such a big downfall when you look at the triple melee build. Your match against Fist really showed it. You just sent the dervish and you win for 28.
Yeah, well, generally speaking, I think playing slowly and playing for lower damage is something that is underutilized, and it's very hard to do because it takes a lot of discipline and you can't make mistakes for like 26 minutes, but it's an underrated strat probably, but as far as using paragons for that, I don't really see it because I don't see a double paragon team getting to lower damage in good conditions just because they're going to suffer for like 25 minutes before that with the flag running, the split defense, and whatnot. So if you want to play for lower damage, I don't think Paragons is the way to go. There are better builds for that.
Yeah, they're definitely easier ones, no doubt about that. But I just remember because um after VOD was gone and aggressiveness or lower damage, whatever you want to call it, took over, there was that time when I think those geeks from Raw came up with the first double Paragon bit at that time that had so much stupid defense based with the Paragon damage to just win at low damage. Like you just ball and at the
Yeah.
end you're like, yeah, easy, we all damage you. Which is something barely anyone plays. I mean, looking at the triple melee you guys play, there's also no sort of defense or help for the monks. Like I feel like this is the standard now. People just relying on the monks to get you through the game while you do your best to kill. Um, it's kind of awkward in that sense. Anyways,
Yeah.
was there any team you were aside from Fist looking forward to meet in the playoffs, or were you like, yeah, whatever comes comes?
Um, like,
I don't know.
Because
What,
Bounty
what,
and Joko actually talked about this last week. They felt like they have an actual rivalry with your guild, and they were looking forward to at least meeting you guys.
well,
yeah,
yeah,
for
of
sure.
course, we want to face them too. Like, I want to say anything without just shitting all over everyone else. Like, but I guess it's pretty clear to see, like, we're the two best guilds. Um, so it's always competitive against them. It's taken us a few months to get to this stage. But yeah, the games now are very close, and it's always fun playing against them. I guess you can call it kind of somewhat a rivalry, but we're all kind of like there's no hatred between any of us. We all guess for each other and stuff like that.
All right, all right. Um, Looking at your match against them this time compared to finals last month, do you think your overall strategy and gameplay against them changed a lot, or is it more like coincidence, good build, different map that helped you win against them?
Um, I wasn't there last month, so it's a bit, I can't speak exactly for the last finals, but I will say that I think we have improved a bunch in this last couple of weeks and months. Um, and probably the same matchup with the same builds 2, 3 months ago, we would have lost a lot faster. So yeah, I do feel like we've improved a lot. And what was the second part of your question? Like if builds mattered? Like I don't think.
Yeah, like if the build was a big part of why you guys won against them compared to last month, because last month was them playing the triple melee, and
Yeah,
I think you guys having Singust or something. Um,
yeah.
or if the map was like a good pick for you guys compared to Worms.
Mm, I mean, personally, I wasn't too happy about the Imperial matchup. As we said before, I think I would have preferred Warriors or something. But the build, I don't think the builds uh, were. I mean, of course, matchup makes everything in Guild Wars. Like the build you have versus the build they have, if it's different builds, and it's a completely different game. But I still feel like we would have had good chances no matter what. Um, eh, but yeah, I think like in general, as Fate said, um, it's now pretty balanced, and games are decided on smaller things. So yeah.
I think a big thing for them as well is they've lost a few players over the last few months. Probably the biggest one is losing Luke. That guy was just, one of the best players in the game. Then they had, I think it was O'Neill. Now they got Trees. They lost Sebi at some stage. Like, it's been kind of rough for them as well. I guess to some extent that helped us as well. I know we've had to go through a few players, but like internally, I guess that creates more kind of work for them guys trying to get on the same page. But yeah, definitely the game's become a lot closer between us two.
All right. Um, since you mentioned you don't like next month's flux, what's your general stance towards the flux overall? Do you think it's a good system since we get patches again, or would you say since we get patches, just abolish it or change it?
Wait, what? Abolish what? Sorry.
The concept of the flux, like since the flux was introduced back then because patches were less frequent, and since we getting patches now, hopefully it stays this way. Do you think the flux is still a good thing, or
And so
we
you're
could do
saying
something
to
about
remove
it,
flux in general and have
or
no
change
flux
it?
all
What
year
is your
round?
opinion on it? Yeah.
Nah, you have to keep fluxes. You would just have the same shit every single day of the year if there's no flux. Um, it would be nice if they could change some or make some new ones. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but no, you have to keep the fluxes in the game.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Like Flux can change the meta completely from one month to another. I wish if anyone at ArenaNet listens, that I doubt it, but if they could change the Flux right after the MAT, that would be a big thing because like you have a good week of like
We have now have
inactivity.
2 weeks until you can
Yeah.
actually
I know it
like.
has been mentioned on the 2 weeks Discord, and I mentioned it in a conversation with Foggy. It's just dumb. Like you get less time to actually prepare in the flux you're gonna MAT in, and it's just awkward, right? Um, let's say
Yeah.
you guys were a dev for a day, and you had the power to do anything to get worse. Which is the one thing you would change instantly?
Nerf mesmers.
Uh, I'm not sure, because it would like one targeted change can like make other stuff completely broken. So it's hard to say, but I think the one thing that you could do that would just it's simple and it would be just an improvement to the meta is to just revert that change they made on Cryptsig because that shit is stupid. Um, I think it's the one thing that
I think everyone can agree with that, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it
do
was
they
strong
actually listen
before
to
the buff.
anything you say to them? By the way, like, curious, do they listen to anything suggested by us?
Well, um, gotta talk secrets here. Not much so. Um, I'm I'm in contact with Foggy, not much though, since we spoke a few we spoke about a few things, then I mentioned something, and most of the replies is like, yeah, he's gonna look into it, or he's gonna talk to Izzy basically, because all PvP decisions in the end are made by Izzy. He's just gonna talk about these things that we mention to him, but he's more focused on PvE, bug fixes, his dungeon, which is, by the way, it's pretty nice. But yeah, the 2 weeks guys are mostly for the PvE stuff. So for everyone listening and actually being on their Discord, it's cool that we mention stuff, but if we want to get something changed, we people have to basically bother Izzy.
I
Yeah, but you
mean,
see,
like
like for
bounty.
example, they reverted the consume soul thing quickly, kind of.
Yeah, see, this is
Uh,
what I mean by fixing bugs. Like they go into smaller details, like fixing a bug, or if something is like stupidly broken and the whole community is crying, but they refrain from actually going into bigger skill changes because they are not familiar with the PvP system and how skills affect the others in
Well, this is where we
GvG.
can help them, no? Like,
Yeah, but
this is what
they
Bounty was
kind of
right about.
outsourced it to Easy, which is technically okay, but since they are have letting him have the last word on it, basically, um, if you want to change, you gotta bother Izzy, like in
yeah,
the
I
good
can
old
see that.
days.
I
Where
can
do we
see it,
find
but
contact for him? Where do we send petitions?
That's a
yeah,
good
like
question.
I wonder what made him like do this consume soul change, which is a revert. So it would be the same thing for Cryptsig, right? We're not asking to
Yeah.
make a
Well,
new
see,
skill or do
see,
something new, just revert what he did. And I think I wonder what amount of community noise he has to be hearing to go and push for that change because I think it would literally take him 5 minutes
yeah.
to do.
I mean,
You know?
I myself was quite surprised the Signet got buffed at all because before the first patch, they mentioned that if they changed something, it would be skills that are lesser used in overall Guild Wars, not just PvP. And then they buff that Signet, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, but that shit is already used. Why do you touch it?
Yeah, but they don't look at
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They don't.
GvG, right?
It's yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't think they take PvP into any consideration with any of these kind of updates.
It's not even just PvP, it's very specific to GvG, right? Because I don't think you see Cryptsig in any other modes.
yeah. I mean,
So it's
I'm pretty sure Izzy is keeping GvG in mind when doing some of these changes, but a lot
yeah.
of these changes, when you go through them, are just so insignificant compared to what is strong right now. Like they buffed some elite hexes and shit, and they look, some of them look stupidly strong, but you can't play them because first of all, they're a Boolean mesmer interrupt that just killed the skill right off before you get it off on someone. And even if you get it off on someone, you have skills like PNH, buffed divert hexes, which hits for like, I don't know, 210 heal if you get 3 hexes off someone for 5 energy, 5-second recharge. Like some of these things make no sense. For example, buffing Primal Rage while Mind Wreck is dominant. Like, yeah, I need another skill to suicide. Thank you. It's like
Yeah,
awkward.
let's see. I mean, if we're being realistic, like I'm not see like the amount of changes you would have to do an actual revamp of the meta is big. Like you would have because if you nerf Mesmers, then you're gonna have an Ellie problem.
Yeah.
And then so you have to touch Ellie's, but then it's gonna like the snowball effect is massive. So I would prefer they don't touch it and I'll fuck everything up. And like just keep buffing skills that are
Yeah. I mean,
underused in PvE or whatever. But yeah.
I mentioned it when I spoke to him. I sent a huge wall of text basically, um, saying that if they touch something and they basically need to touch something in order to change the meta game, because if you just buffing unused skills, you're not changing the meta game, because mesmers will still be broken. But if you touch them, you most likely want to start with mesmers. Then you have to pick up on allies because allies will be strong. If you nerf both of them, you will end up with 3 dervishes most likely, or some sort of trip melee ranger necro ranger mesmer version. So you would have to look at dervishes, and then when you nerfed all your damage, basically, you have to look at monks because healing burst is stupidly strong. So they basically have to touch almost every class, which is huge. I mean, we just talking about classes here, but looking at skills, we will probably look at somewhere between 80 and 100 skills that actually need some sort of nerf. to change the metagame without fucking it up entirely.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I agree. So it's a difficult problem that you can't be delegating to a single person that also has not much clue about GvG, you know. I just don't believe in it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's say we are hopeful for the future and we still getting patches and whatnot. Is there something in like a utopian world you're looking forward happening? Like, let's say we keep getting skill changes and you're looking for something specific. I would always assume Fate is hoping to have warriors be more prominent so he can back to warrior. But is there something you are looking forward, you're hopeful for?
Brr. No, not really. I think we're just kind of anything that comes. Like considering we hadn't had a skill update for how long? Like 13 years or something? Was it crazy like that?
Yeah,
I
I
Yeah.
think
think the
anything that
last
comes,
one.
we can just be happy with, right? Until he kind of breaks the game with stupid shit like the Crypt Sig or I don't know. Like Bounty said last week, you know, back in the day, they actually had like a test crew and things were actually tested before going live. And
Yeah.
this is why I keep saying, like, all he needs to do is ask three, four, five, however many people just for a little bit of help on the GvG side of things. You're never going to balance this game. Like any of these games that have some kind of competitive scene, there's always going to be something broken, unbalanced, however.
Yeah,
It's just the way the games are.
yeah.
So
Just to give a little insight on this, because as you mentioned it last week, it was mentioned with the test crew. The general issue that I personally see there is I've spoken to a couple of people who were in the old test crew, and it was just a mess because not everyone is on the same page. Like in the old test crew, as far as I know, they never outlined where they wanted the game first of all to be or what each class is supposed to do or which role they are supposed to fulfill. So you had people who really liked one aspect of the game, like a fast paced, which is pretty much what we have now, game. And you had other people who really liked the slower game with a lot of layers of defense, and you had to coordinate to get the kids through. And some like the game more static, others more flexible, more split, and you had all those opinions clashing, and then Izzy just doing some shit, which is why we basically ended up with the metagame back in the day when Spike was so good or when Haxes were so good.
well, yeah, I mean, again, like you're gonna have something unbalanced. It just happens like that, and you're also not going to keep everyone happy. You just can't. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone has a different outlook on the game, of how they see the game can be played or what they like. And yeah, it's just impossible. You can't keep everyone happy. But I think this Izzy guy needs help. Simple as that. He needs some kind of help instead of just almost like chat GPTing a whole bunch of changes to skills that don't get used. I don't know.
Yeah. That would also be my my wish for the future. If there was one thing, it would be that we find a way to get Izzy his own new little test crew, and I think we have more than enough people in the community that have already done a ton of work with like spreadsheets and whatever about changes that we could just feed to him, and it would make up for way better changes than what's going on right now when it comes to PvP. When it comes to PvE and other things, I don't want to. I don't. I'm clueless about that, and I just want to say that it's still amazing that we get new changes and like new patches in a 20-year-old game. Like this is actually,
Yeah, I think overall everyone's grateful for that, right?
yeah,
But
Yeah.
at least have some thought behind what you're doing.
right.
Get this man some help.
That sounds so mean. Um, what is your take on since you won the MAT? What is your take on the change to the trim system? I mean, back in the day, we got only gold at what, I don't know, 2013 or
Terrible, man.
2014 it changed that you only get gold, and the other capes were taken out, so you could just buy them. And now you can buy all of them and you get
I
nothing
don't like that.
except for
I would
I
like it to
rewards.
go back. I'd like it to go back to
yeah.
the original.
I like
To
the fact that
maybe
you can buy colored capes, like green, blue, whatever. But I don't think they should have made the gold, silver, and bronze buyable.
it would have been
Uh,
nice to have seen. Was it BG? I would have liked to have seen them with a poop trim, but like let's
Yeah,
just go back to the old style.
I really miss that shit too. And I don't know which guild it was. I saw a guild on the other day with actually poop gym, because nowadays everyone, when they make a guild, they either do not bother getting a trim at all, or they get some fancy shit. And that one guild running around with poop gym, I was like, damn, that's kind of cool.
yeah, I mean, also the fact of like after you win, like the guild lord dies in finals, and you get that cape change. That used to be a nice little dopamine rush that you don't have anymore. But yeah,
So you would bring it back if you could. The entire
yeah,
system or just golds?
the entire system. I
Entire
would,
system.
yeah.
Since there's enough guilds that you can actually do the entire system now, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Wait, silver is top 16, right? It used to
Yeah,
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
tech
they
tech
could drop that to top 8 and give poop to top 16, and that would be fine.
Yeah, see, the old system was technically rank 2 to 16 gets the silver, 17 to I think 32 or something gets the poop trim. But
Right.
since there are less skills now, it's kind of awkward
Yeah.
because everyone basically would guarantee to get a poop trim now.
it's not
Yeah.
necessarily a bad thing though, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be a good reason for if we would take away all capes for PVE guilds or people who just want to start, to give them a reason to get in, because the moment you participate, you get the trim. As long as there are not more than 32 guilds participating, right?
I don't think you should remove all of the trims. Did you say that?
Yeah, I mean, all of the trims to buy in the sense of gold, silver, and poop. I don't care about the other
Oh,
colors.
Yeah.
Uh, um,
Well,
about
thank God we had someone with 15k RP to buy the trim for us. Thank you, Smokey.
Yeah, see, this is the next part. If you win technically the MAT, the amount of rewards is sort of based on how many guilds are there, what rank you make in the MAT, etc. Even if you win it, it would take you a month to earn the gold gem. It's like
Yeah.
nuts, and you can't even combine reward points from players to get it. Like it has
Yeah.
to be one person.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. So you do need to win. I think you probably have, if you win like 3 MATs in a row and you start from 0, then you might have enough. Well, but it's it's a long way to go.
It's been quite a while since I've been in finance. What is the amount of RPs you get nowadays with more guys playing again?
I think we got like
I
5,000.
don't think it depends on the amount of guilds. It just depends where you place.
Yeah, but you get a percentage extra if you're in the top 10% or something, based on the guilds or something. It's like super awkward.
Or maybe it's like a super small amount, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
I
not
know winning's
massive.
like
It's not massive.
4.5k.
So it would take at least a few months. So weird. Because back then it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's win. We're gonna get gold. This is the goal we're working for, and now it's like, yeah, we working for our piece.
Mhm. Yeah, pretty much.
Um, since we talked about the flux and that you're not happy about next month, is there, aside from May, a flux that you like to play, or let's say, is there a month you like to play for perhaps the rotation?
Um, I kind of forget about fluxes every time.
I
Let
think
me see.
everyone loves November. I think that's probably a fan favorite.
Isn't
Uh,
November also the flux with the full monk triple dervish shit?
I would have to.
Yeah, I'm
I
not.
can't
I
really
mean,
remember off the top of my head. It's the all-in flux.
I'm
Yeah,
not a.
that's the flux people played. The four monks with triple dervish shit. I remembered.
Yeah, I'm not a
I mean,
fan of this one, honestly.
for me personally, the chain combo is my favorite. Maybe that's biased for a warrior because it's the damage numbers you hit are just big dopamine hits when you're just smashing someone. But yeah, for me, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Chain combo is a great design, also. I think. Uh,
See, I really like the boss flux. It's
yeah,
like super
it
stupid. If you
feels
get
good.
it on a hammer warrior, you like the
Yeah,
kill.
yeah,
It's
that's
so
insane.
good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. And the worst one has to be like the minion one. Like that shit is so useless. Or the one where you drop the gifts. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
really not a
yeah.
fan of those two. Um, but yeah, I wish they if there was one or two new fluxes, it would be good.
All right. I think I'm done with all my questions. Do you have anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to mention or shout out? This is your time to create content, Fade.
Oh God. Okay. Any questions in the chat? Any memes? Or have you had enough of me trolling?
I think there are no more questions. I
Yeah.
did not get any more questions.
No, I mean, I just hope there will still be more, like at least the same level of activity in the upcoming months. I hope that guilds stick together and we get to play some good matches again. I think the number one thing that makes a guild play better, I think, is sticking together with the same roster, even through losses and stuff. So less disbands, more guilds staying together and practicing, and I think it would be it will be good for the overall community.
I think
Uh,
the only thing I would ask is, since you're kind of in contact with these devs or kind of these people, is if you do actually get through to them and they're willing to listen, like, can we gather like a group of people who are actually kind of knowledgeable about the game who can help this guy potentially?
I mean, I'm, as far as I know, not the only person talking to them. I know that our beloved Motoko is in direct contact with Izzy, for example, and he
Yeah, this is
keeps,
why I said knowledgeable people. Let's try and
yeah.
get him as far
Um,
away from that as possible.
I know that he keeps bothering the 2 weeks guys on an almost daily basis and shit. But it's definitely something that can be mentioned if they take it to Easy, and how Easy reacts to something. This is clearly out of my hands. I can't promise anything. Um, I think it really depends on what Easy wants to do and how much time he wants to invest into balancing the skills, or if he's just looking at numbers, which really feels like, and changing shit. But yeah, it's something I can do and ask
Yeah,
him.
I mean, I would just rather not see like the biggest scumbag of the game kind of getting his nose in that, you know? So
See, that's something I didn't want to say out loud, but yeah, I get you.
I don't care.
Um,
Make a petition and get some sign-offs to like show him that we have hundreds of dedicated GvGers waiting for something from him. You know what I mean?
see, I at this point I even mentioned, because the 2 week studio isn't as big as Orion himself, and I even mentioned,
Really?
yeah, they're I mean, arena is
It's like
obviously far
3 or
bigger.
4 people, no?
Yeah,
In
it's
2
not
weeks.
that many guys, and if you do a skill update, you have to do more than just change the numbers, right? You have to translate whatever dumb shit you add or do not add or remove something to every language in the game and shit. And I even mentioned that we have a big community with people speaking more than one language. Whatever the fuck we can help, we're willing. But yeah, I can mention that test
I
crew
mean,
shit, but
you can see the work that people do, like, the Tolkana website,
yeah,
Guild Wars
definitely.
Observer, like, people are putting work in behind the scenes, and
Yeah. Shout out to those guys, by the way. It's amazing
yeah,
work.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and,
It's really insane. I
even
think
if it takes them a month, 2 months, whatever, like, I think we're patient enough. We've been playing the game for 20 plus years. Um, I don't know.
One last thing that came to my mind. I've read the other day that people are helping your players, and we had in the past teaching scrims. Is this something you would like to bring back or have back in the game to increase the community? Because you said you like the fact that guilds stay together, that more people play, and it
yeah.
kind of felt like really good back in the day when you had new people really be interested and come and do not just do shit scrims, but scrims to actually learn the game.
Yeah, I think for sure I can't be against that. I think that with all the tools that we have now, like the Guild Wars Observer is actually insane for like improving. You can if you play Warrior, you can look at how the top warriors are playing and rewind their games and like 1,000 times if you want to. Like there's so many resources now that just helps with uh, improving a lot. And well, teaching scrims could be one of them. Um, I think the main good thing about teaching scrims, if you're a new player, is that you get acquainted with like the GvG scene and you can meet people and get guested to play some ATs and stuff like that. Because it could be hard if you're like a new player and you don't have any connections to, play some ATs and get guested and stuff like that.
See, I
Uh,
think the question's a little bit difficult. Like, of course, all of us want the community to be bigger. I'm sure even some of the people not in GvG would want to be a part of it. Teaching scrims would be great for sure. I think you'll probably find the most common response from people coming to it is the community's toxic. Basically, the
Yeah.
people are snowflakes as well, who just can't take like criticism or like they have no improvement in them kind of thing. And then, yeah, you've also got to take into consideration, if they want to get out of teaching scrims, they then need to find a guild. That's not super easy, not being known. It's a difficult question, but like if teaching scrims was around, it would benefit everyone, I feel like.
Yeah, I
yeah,
remembered in the past. Um, it was a hassle to get running. I think
yeah.
Momo was part of it, and since I was in the guild with Momo, she always talked about how much fucking work it is to get everyone there, to get the people who are willing to teach new players a specific role assigned to new players, because they had that buddy system back then. So a new player who's really interested, for example, in prop monk gets a teacher who is at least familiar with the role if he's not even the person who plays it constantly. And sometimes you were lucky, you got someone who is really good and willing to teach you. And then the other day, if you're unlucky, you get a teacher like Shisha who's screaming at you all day long. It
Well,
was
yeah,
like
I mean, it
tough.
takes patience from everyone, right? It takes patience from the teacher, it takes patience from the student, let's call it. But can you imagine a new player coming to scrims and within the first hour they're being screamed by like being screamed at by Rainy or Holy or Zuri back in the day. Like, yeah, they're
Yeah.
not coming back. They're not showing up next time.
Yeah.
But to be fair, since you mentioned them and Zuri, the biggest troll in the game, or joke in the game, depending on who you ask, um, was actually really good at this. Like he took so many new players in his guilds like early on, um, compared to a lot of other guilds. It's like huge. I mean, yeah, he was a
Yeah.
menace, but he was really interested in getting people playing.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing you want more than, uh, in my view, at least more than like teaching scrims where you have like, the, scrims is a different environment from actual GVGs. I think sometimes it's like even a completely different game, I feel like, and things that work in scrims will not work in actual games. But people like Zuri, who was, giving players their chance by taking them in his guild and playing actual GVGs with them, even though it was like trial by fire, right? It was like not a friendly environment, but you still had to, you still gained a lot of experience from that. And I think that's how most of us learn the game, right? Is through struggling in some games, making mistakes and kind of being blamed for them. And that's how you also learn, I guess, in my opinion. And now with all the tools that we have, you can do so much self-reviewing. You can look at the games of top players on your role. Like there's a lot of things that you can do that don't require a coach or like a teacher for you to get better, you know.
Yeah. On that
I,
point, last question before we end the show. I know Fate has a limited amount of time. If you look at this month MAT or generally speaking, the entire May so far, is there one thing you would take away from and you're like, yeah, I didn't really take it in account and didn't pay enough attention to it, but this is something I'm gonna remember, or this is something I've improved on that could be a good tip for new players in general.
oh boy.
Don't rush out of gates and leave your monk stuck in them, Fate. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe listen to your team next time. I guess that does help a situation. You're right. But it's not an MAT without me throwing some kind of way, right?
Yeah. No, but I would say in a more serious note, I think yeah, the vault reviews is boring, but it's what makes you improve the most as a guild.
I
Uh,
absolutely hate them, but yeah, yeah, it's not even a bad thing. You're not calling any of your team out. You're finding some mistakes so that you don't make them again. And yeah,
yeah,
it's incredibly important. And again, shout out to Purif, Maverick, all of those guys who have made these tools for us that we can kind of do this stuff now.
yeah, for sure. As a guild, I think it's the number one thing that makes you improve. And as an individual player, I would say the number one tip is to always try to be aware of what's going on in the game on a more macro level. Like try not to tunnel vision into what you're doing, and be completely lost as to what's going on in the game. Um, I think that's the number one skill that people should develop. Like, what's the flag situation? If there's a split, like who's responding, what's going on, not losing sight of the overall game plan is to me the number one thing that a player should have because it makes them always a good asset to a team.
Yeah, I would totally agree. And there's something I would add, considering what I've experienced and noticed this month, not only by me but by others as well. Um, Trust your team. Have balls to do whatever it takes. Like if you're in a good position, keep that position. Trust your monks to hold you. Do not fall back into their lines. Do not do stupid shit that may seem smart to you, but will cost you either positioning, flag advantage, or whatever. have trust in your team.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I agree. And if you
So,
lose, just blame your monks. Like it's pretty simple.
or blame Fate, even if he's not on your team.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm here for. I told you it helped. It really does help. You know, we don't know what happened. It was my fault.
All right. I thank you two for coming on today. Really happy to have you guys on, and here again, congratulations to your win.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us. It was good to talk.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we can get through to Izzy and not explode the game anymore.
I hope so. Well, see you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, this was this week's weekend weapon of choice, and not as um game intense when it comes to the MAT as I was hoping for. I was, as mentioned before, hoping through to go through the finals and look into it and stuff, but this month was kind of disappointing. Next month better. Um Next week's episode will be earlier again. I will not be on this late, hopefully. Um this episode will go onto YouTube later on for rewatches because Twitch only saves it for like a few days and shit. Um, it will eventually also be uploaded to Tolcano. Still in talks with Simon about how we do it, and yeah, see you guys around.